All right, welcome, welcome. It is time for another edition of the Black Belt Newscast. We are live today. I'm live from Demopolis, and he's live from Selma.
Yeah, I'm in Selma. I was going to say, I'm trying to turn my volume up so I can hear you better. There we go. That's a little more better.
All right. Sometimes when you're live, you never know what's going to happen.
That's
And
true. That's very true.
I always like to say that as we are live, we actually can see your comments. So if you want to make comments to us and ask questions, we love it. So let us know what you got going on. And if you have any comments on our stories or things you'd like to hear from us, our stories come from blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. And this is where all our stories are going to be. We have all the different counties lined up: Dallas, Wilcox, Perry, Marengo, Lowndes, Montgomery. And you can just see what you want to read from each county or just the whole stream. You can send your news to news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. We can't be everywhere all at once. And we do call this community journalism, where we do this together. It connects us together. And if you're at an event that you want to get covered but didn't see anybody there, take some video and some photos and send us the information, and we'll be glad to get it out and share it with everybody. At 3 o'clock every day, we have a daily newsletter that goes out. This is free. All our coverage is free. So sign up. All you got to do is go to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com, and it'll ask you within the first 3 seconds, and just put in your email address. There is an opportunity as well when you're setting up your account to put your phone number for texts that we hope to do in the future, that will have breaking news texts and what you need to know. We also, if you want to write for us, send your resume and a list of stuff you want to do to news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. And we take donations. This is how we make the ability to have free content. We ask for you guys to help us out by making a donation. And we'll talk a little more about that closer to the end. So here we go. Black Belt Newscast Live. Our first story is about Aviation Day. Now, this is not the first Aviation Day at Craig Field, but Todd got to go out there and see the action. So tell us about it.
Well, it is the second Aviation Day, actually, since Wallace College and Craig Field have partnered to bring high school students from all over the area to Craig Field to talk about aviation-related careers. Of course, that was Dr. Mitchell, the president of the school. That is Jim Corrigan, who heads up Craig Field. And that is the keynote speaker. His name is Chris Strickland. He is from Shelby, Alabama, but he's flown with the Thunderbirds. He has also flown F-15s, F-16s, the U-2 spy plane. He told us a little bit about that and wonderful careers that are available. Very exciting and inspirational talk. He talked a lot about being inspired and going for your dreams. And that's what these kids were able to do, is investigate different things that they might be interested in doing in their life, in their future, in the aviation field. They got to go to some static displays of various aircraft, as you can see there. And they were also talking about how there's not just pilot jobs available, but there's mechanic, avionics. There's folks who work in the offices of the different airports. And, of course, military and civilian careers in aviation. And, of course, Aliyah was there yesterday as well, talking about the jobs they have. And they also have aviation-related jobs at Aliyah. As we've talked about so many times in the past recently, this area, the Dallas County, Perry County, and Marengo County are working hard on their airports to become aviation hubs. And in Dallas County, the Craig Airport is doing a lot to bring kids out there, but also bring other aviation-related industry and events out there as well. So this is just one thing. And, of course, Wallace College, they also offer, with advanced ATC, you can actually become a air traffic controller. And Resicom is out there that's teaching a number of different classes in different aviation-related fields. So Dr. Mitchell said just contact the school if anybody's interested in aviation, that's the place to go.
And those jobs pay really great.
Oh yeah,
So
usually starting pay is anywhere from 5 to 6 figures. Yeah,
it's great. All right. I got to attend last week the opening of and start of construction for the West Alabama highway. So, construction has been going on for years. This was a real celebration of the fact that it's been decades that they've been, since the late 80s, 90s, they've been talking about West Alabama corridor. It was going to be on 43, and part of it is, then moved over to 69. So
right.
it has finally been figured out. That is a representative with AlDOT. And they got a chance to say, hey, they're redoing, this is the old Piggly Wiggly building.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it used to be, and this is in Demopolis, and the other used to be like a Mexican restaurant and other restaurants. That's Senator Bobby Singleton, who represents the area. And they got a chance to say, hey, this is great. We're so glad to see this moving forward. They're renovating these old abandoned buildings to be the offices instead of doing like trailers and along the corridor. The corridor goes from Thomasville to Moundville and completes the connection really for Mobile to Tuscaloosa. And that's Mayor Woody Collins also talking about how long it took to get here. And really they were honest. They were disappointed that the original plan of it being 43 would have had it go straight through Demopolis. But because of the cost of redoing all the bridges to 4 lanes in that area and, and divided, that's why they moved it over to 69 for portions. So it's an exciting trip. See, I went back and got, when nobody was there, some video of what that's the old, the former Piggly Wiggly. So it's really exciting that projects moving forward. It also means that several people with Brasfield and Gorey is the main developer of the corridor will be moving to Demopolis. Because this is a multi-year project. It's interesting. If you go to the story at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com that I wrote about it, I talked about the multi-year project. So it's phases, which does have it taking, because you kind of say, well, I mean, when they finish construction, what happens? Do they abandon the building again? Well, it's a multi-year project. It could take several years to finish all the different segments. They've been in like design elements of it, just in the design phases, and also buying up right away in order to have the land to expand to. Now, and with the exception of that, like I think it's a couple miles there in Linden that's been done already. The rest of the construction is beginning. So it's really exciting. And that was really good to talk to some of the folks that are going to be relocating to the Black Belt. All right. Another story that popped up this week is the AmeriCorps office will be closing in Selma. And this is part of the changes with the federal funding and pulling federal funding from different communities. So this was a presentation at City Council for the AmeriCorps program not that long ago, and I didn't have to go back far in order to find this footage. So let's see, it was April. It was in April, a month ago, and that they did. I think that's right. March. I'm sorry. So AmeriCorps is a national volunteer program that's been in Selma for many years. And there's a Selma AmeriCorps neighborhood development initiative that was terminated effective immediately. And this came up this week from the city of Selma announcing this. They say it's been decades this AmeriCorps has been here and working with residents, schools, neighborhoods, communities. It's tough to see this program closing. But if you want to read more, it's at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. But we may have other stories to share about changes in federal funding as that trickles. And just staying in the city of Selma for a sec, the State of the City address was last Friday. It was after our newscast. It was Friday evening. Right. I got wondered if the mayor was going to announce he's running for mayor. He did not at that.
Has not announced yet.
I was expecting that.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot. We don't have good video from that meeting, but it was. So here's the gist was that the mayor got a chance so he's finishing 5 years as mayor instead of 4 years because the state moved the municipal elections off of national elections in 24. So it was moved to 25. That meant everybody elected in 2021 got a 5-year term. So the mayor was taking the opportunity to say what he's accomplished in his 5 years. And I'll give you a list of some of the things he talked about was increasing minimum wage for city employees. He also talked about funding they've gotten for expanding broadband internet. They paved 70 blocks, and we've been watching that this just now of downtown Selma.
Yeah,
investment in housing, investment into water projects, and replacing the track at Memorial Stadium. Those were among the things that he is most proud of in his 5 years. But he also spent some time talking about and praising the city employees. And I know he says they're taking it on the chin a lot on social media, especially with things they think aren't being done in the time frame they'd like it to be done. And he's saying that they're understaffed and underpaid and that they've gotten a lot accomplished regardless of that, and mentioned and got a chance to thank his staff for the work they're doing. So we'll have to wait to see if he is running for mayor since that didn't happen.
Yeah.
He's got a little time. Qualifying is until June, I believe, but it's coming. So
June, that's right.
He'll have to announce in the next month or so when he puts in for qualification. Okay. All right. Now you got a chance to meet the new director of Selma Area Food Bank. Tell us about Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson. I tell you what, he is a super nice person. He comes from Northwest Alabama and moved to Marengo County. He and his family, he's got 3 daughters, live in Dixon's Mills. And he is involved in pastoring in a church over there, working with their food pantry. His wife still does. And he became a board member of the Selma Area Food Bank, representing Marengo County. And that's how Jeff, got to know him and Jeff Harrison, the former executive director. And when Jeff decided it was time to step down, he asked Ryan to become the executive director, which he did. And we will have a story about some of the things that Ryan is talking about doing, which he's really a nice guy. He talks about dealing with some of the federal cuts, and he's talking about how, as we spoke about last week, Selma Area Food Bank is in a very stable position. They're actually looking for employees right now, and had an interview the day that I got to speak with him, which actually was yesterday. So we're going to have that story in print, and we'll have that coming up, I guess, next edition, because he just a really nice, you got to talk to him, super nice guy, very, very positive and energetic. I'm excited to see what he does.
I know he's really big on volunteers.
Yes, he is.
And listing volunteers. I think you'll hear a lot about that.
Yeah, he did even speak about that too. So we'll have that in the story as well.
I'm going to make a quick mention that Selma Now meetings have been held all this week, and this is gaining input from residents about a study that's been done for suggestions of how Selma can grow out of the 2023 tornado. And a lot of input meetings held last week. I have several folks I know that have attended those and given their input. There was also, and I think it's still open for online input, and you can read it. We have a story online at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com if you want to go, and we have a link to it. Actually, it's selmanow.com. Is that right? Selma Now, where you can go read. Yes, selmanow.com. You can review the draft of it and take a survey there as well. So we did a story. I'm going to update. We're going to get an update of a story last week about Green Street Baptist reopening, and they had their big opening service, right?
Yes, they had there was a 144th anniversary service last Sunday, and I spoke with Miss Margaret Rawls, and she said there were so many people there. It was standing room only. That a lot of the folks that had been displaced from the building being damaged and not being able to hold services there had come back, and they were just thrilled that there were so many people at Green Street last week. And of course, they're inviting anybody and everybody that would like to come and join them. They have services. I think they start at 9 o'clock on Sunday mornings, and of course, that's in our story this week in our current edition of the Selma Sun print. And I believe you've also put that online. Am I correct?
I'll have to look and see if that's online yet.
I hadn't even looked to see if it's online yet either. So, but it's just a great story of resilience, and like your headline on the print says that this congregation proves that the church is not actually the building, but the body of the believers, and that's a wonderful thing to see in action and in practice.
Yeah, so that's awesome. I'm so glad we got a chance to update on that.
Yeah,
I actually had
great
another meeting this week. I went to the Demopolis Chambers open house, which they have a new office they moved into just in the last couple of months. It is on Walnut. So it's right near the Green. Great location. Yeah. And they had a really great opening, and they have their conference room there, and they got a chance to kind of show off where they are located now. So there's the conference room, and the positive, the new location that they're at, that they're saying is much better for them for walk-in access, people knowing where they are. They were inside a building. You had to kind of know where to go to get to them.
Yeah.
So, there's the mayor and his wife, and they had a really good turnout of folks coming to just check out the new location.
Very historic building too.
So I want to talk too about one of our correspondents, Valencia Benjamin. She attended the drug treatment graduation they hold it, I think, twice a year. And you've covered this before. And I'm going to see, there we go. This is the graduates walking in. They're part of the Rise and Recover program. And when they agree to be in the program, they often get charges dropped, and it gets, arrests and everything that, and you have attorneys there. That's Jimmy Nunn. But you also had Vernetta Perkins Walker is her last name now. She was there as well, and Sheriff Grantham spoke. DA Robert Turner Jr. was there, and they had a speaker as well that had her own experiences with with drugs and overcoming. So it was a really great message that it's graduation season as we approach high school graduation. So it's kind of neat that this one also is a different kind of graduation. And they offered, Kennard Randolph was there with Selma Authority, and he offered each graduate $300 to help them get on their feet and make their move into the next step and stage of their recovery. I know. And so it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 graduates. So I think that's really cool and something we should celebrate, especially as a community, because we have to look out for each other.
Right. Very true.
Okay. Next,
one of the things I think that folks in this area are good at doing too, by the way, is helping to look out for each other. You can say all the bad you want to, but in a black belt, when bad things happen, people step up to the plate, which is one of the reasons why I like it here.
So the Rotary Club of Selma, which I'm president this year and next year, it's a long story, we had a project this year called the Caring Closet, and I'm really proud of this project. I don't know if I have sound on this or not, but this is we that's Anthony Sampson, who is the superintendent. Let me see if there's sound on it.
And that's, what the role of a principal, being connected with the community, understanding our students and what their needs are, and not just the students, the needs of the family. So the Caring Closet touches more than individual kids. This impacts families. So appreciate the work of Rotary. I'm a proud club member as well, Rotarian, and this is what we do to really make that impact for the four-way test.
And we are just so pleased for you all to have partnered with us this school year. You all have made a difference in the lives of our students. When the students need extra food to go home, we're able to send a big bag, a huge bag of snacks and food and different items. Not only that, extra uniform items, toothbrush, toothpaste. So you guys have really made an impact to not only, like Mr. Sampson said, the students, but to the families that we serve each and every day. And we are so grateful to be one of your partners, and we're grateful that you have partnered with us, and we look forward to the continued success and the partnership in the future.
You guys had a closet already.
Yes, we had a closet. Saving Grace also partnered with us, as well as Zeta Phi Beta part. So we had a lot of partners that to add to our Caring Closet. So over the school year, they added resources. So throughout the school year, we're able to help those students and help those families that may need a little additional support throughout the school year. So thank you again.
Awesome. Thank you.
Rotary.
Go Rotary. Service myself.
So that was Allison Turner. She's the principal. And that was me with a lot of stuff at Walmart. And this is the shelving that we did and all the items that we've been buying over time and over the school year and adding in there. That was our first one in the winter. So it's been a really fun project. It doesn't cost much to do is the fun part about it. And it gets you engaged. It helps. The idea with the Caring Closet is that we want every kid to be comfortable. So we got hoodies and jackets, and also replacements of the uniform pieces. That's at Bruce K. Craig Elementary in Selma.
Oh, wow.
Right there by Craig Field.
Yeah.
And this way, sometimes they have accidents, they make a mess, they can change clothes. And we also got the washer dryer, which was kind of a brand new from a nonprofit that deals in those. And we were able that way. They have a pre-K program and they wash their the parents or the teachers would take home the nap mats every weekend and take turns. And we thought they should be doing that at school. And this way they can wash the nap mats at school and they're clean. They can even clean some uniforms. Some kids, haven't had their uniform cleaned in a while and they can take care of it at the school. I got this idea from Knox Elementary. It is, in Selma schools, they do that. So I didn't make this up on my own. And Rotary picking this project was actually piggybacking on other ones that we know of. All right. That was really fun. Do you want to talk about the new director of
Yeah. We introduced everybody to Dr. William Henry last week. I think I even spoke about the fact that his wife, Jennifer, or his soon-to-be wife, Jennifer, is moving in with him. And they've got a home that they bought here in town. And as I'm editing the video, I realized that we're going to have two separate videos. One of them is going to be talking about William himself. The other one is going to be William in his home with his fiancee, Jennifer. That's what we showed you last week. But what we're going to do is separate it because they've got some great ideas and some great things that they want to do with the Henry House, which they bought. And the Henry House is a huge home that was started in the 1890s by that's the home right there. It was actually the Tate Henry House. The Tate family started it. The Henry, as in Henry Brick family, bought it in the 1920s, I believe she said. And there are some really beautiful rooms in that house that they're going to use for actually Jim was talking about a bed and breakfast and opening it up to the public to have meetings for like nonprofits and whatnot. So we're going to have another video and some more information about that and what their plans are for the home. So that's coming up on Black Belt News Network real soon.
So we've got a bunch of things coming up, actually. Tell us
Yeah, we
about
do.
Joy Fest. Joy Fest.
Story Fest.
No, Joy Fest.
Oh,
Isn't
the
that
Joy
next
Fest. Oh, yeah. That's coming up
tomorrow?
Tomorrow. It is tomorrow at the Selma Lake over in what's the roads?
East
Yes, in
Selma
East Selma. I'm trying to remember the roads, but it's in East Selma, and they're going to be. It's actually the culmination of the of Trey Taylor's. What's he calling it?
Revolution of Joy.
Yeah, the Revolution of, there you go. Golly, I'm having a senior moment. The Revolution of Joy, and where he's been painting murals all over the Southeast, really, and in the Black Belt. And like the mural over on the Welcome Center and whatnot. So they're going to be doing that and wrapping it up, that particular project tomorrow at the pond in East Selma. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be cool. People are all invited to come out and help.
The Selma Splash Pad is set to open on June 10th, and that was real popular. Option to cool off in the Black Belt.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Also tomorrow, the Black Belt Community Foundation will be honoring their winners of the latest round of grants. We almost put in for that one. Maybe next year. But I'm looking forward to seeing. Well, we've released the winners. If you go to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com, and you can see the list of winners. They're going to be honored tomorrow in a ceremony.
Hey, if you like cars, there's 2 shows tomorrow too in the Black Belt area. There's going to be a cruise-in at Foscue Park in Demopolis, and that starts at 9:00, goes till 2. And there's going to be an actual show at the Bass Pro Shop in Prattville that also starts at 9 and goes till 2. That's a great show too. It's a big one. Both of them should. It's the first time Foscue's done it. The Bass Pro Shop has been going on for a while, and there's always really good cars there. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, there's something to do tomorrow.
All right. And another way to know what's going on is to go to our new calendar.
Yeah.
If you go, you can see it on the right side panel of all the, when you're on your mobile, it will be between the stories, and it'll say local events. And in this case, one of the things that we have added to this calendar is service events. So if you want to know if you need food, we have a food distribution, if you can see that, the senior center that's open for Blue Jean Church that offers that. There's the Thursday food pantry that happens once a month. We added all these things in here so that you're going to know where you can go when you're in need. But we also have, if you want to go somewhere for the weekend, if you want to go to Marion, here's some options of what's going on in Marion. If you want to do something in Dallas County, here's some options of the flea market grand opening is coming up.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're getting their feet. So it narrows it down for you. And I liked this part. I added this. So if you're willing to make a drive, there's Tuscaloosa events, there's Meridian events, there's Mobile events, and Montgomery events. So, depending on where we are in the Black Belt, we don't have rooftop bars here, but they do. So if you want to see what's going on and you're willing to do an hour drive, you can go this way, that way, that way, that way. And here's how you know where you're going for the weekend. Yeah, and that's the reason I added. Sometimes I need a trip to Home Depot, and I might make another side trip to something fun.
Yeah, a lot of times it's not hard it's not a difficult drive to go an hour in the Black Belt to do something. So that's a good thing to have all that information.
I always like to thank our sponsors.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Miller.
Randall Miller Funeral Services. Give a thoughtful final gift to your family and pre-plan your funeral. You can meet with one of their advisors who does this every day. They can help you not only save money, but also save some headache for your family by letting them know ahead of time what it is that you want. You can call 334-874-9081. And I always like to remind, hey, we take donations. We mentioned this in the beginning. That we
please.
actually have a fiscal sponsor, so you can get tax deduction on your donations, and this helps us continue to do the work we're doing and maybe add people. We love having our community correspondents. You can be one too. We do pay for you to do that. And we just love having the opportunity to do this together.
Yeah. It's great to have that extra help, and it's a lot of fun to have more people.
We cover the outdoors too. If you go to Facebook and put in Black Belt Outdoors and follow that, you'll get to see all the information about fishing tournaments and what hunting season we're in. We've had a really good time doing that. You can send your news to news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com if you've got some outdoor news. All right, that is a meaty edition. We will see you guys next week.
It's funny how we talked about we're not sure if we're going to have enough stuff.
We always
did. I think we did. But we will have more next week.
Tell us what you guys want us to cover too. It's good to be with you guys this week, and we'll see you again next week.
Have a great, safe week. See you then.